Welcome to the Marriage 360 podcast. I am Becky Sloan. I am a family nurse practitioner, board certified, and this is
Marty Sloan, and I'm her lucky husband, and I pastor a church here in Chicagoland.
Today on the podcast, we're going to be talking about the different stages of life.
What?
Yes.
You mean there's different stages in life?
We are in our 50s now.
We are?
I think they call this the midlife stage.
It's something.
Yes.
So we're no longer in our 20s.
No, not even 30s.
So when we met, we were in our teens.
Yes.
Then we got married in our 20s.
Yes.
And then we had kids in 20s and
Late 20s and early 30s.
Early 30s. We moved states in our 30s.
Yes.
We moved states in our 40s, 50s.
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying we're not the same people that we were when we first met.
No.
Everything changed, or a few things have changed?
Tons have changed.
Tons have changed.
Tons have changed.
Which is funny because most folks hate change.
I don't like change. I like change over time. I don't like it suddenly.
So stages of life. So when you say that, when we talk about this, what is kind of the thinking behind that? Is it something we should just, kind of just say and move on? Or is there some keys to saying, here's how to navigate those? Or how do we talk about stages of life?
I think every couple that's listening or watching our podcast today needs to know that the more you know earlier in your marriage, the better.
Yeah.
I would say the more you know in life in general, the better. Don't wait till you get to that point and start trying to do all your research about stages of life.
Yeah.
For yourself, for the health of yourself, and for your spouse. And we talk about the stages of life from a medical perspective. My mind goes to, as a woman, the childbearing years. Mm-hmm. We talked about the 20s and 30s. Then you get into what we call perimenopause.
Okay.
And what we learn and what research shows us, these stages from the end of childbearing years and perimenopause to menopause for women can go 8 to 10 years. So that's a long time of a lot of changes going on spiritually, physically, emotionally for a woman, for a married couple. And men have their times, too, of changes of life.
Yeah.
And
you're not giving medical advice, for clarity.
No, I'm not giving medical advice. I'm just saying from, things that I've read and I've studied, and from my own perspective, being in my mid-50s now and having gone through some of this. I wish I knew a lot of this early on.
Yeah.
But read a good book on health and stages of health for women and for men now. Before you get to the stage we're at.
So it's actually a biblical principle, you know that. The principle in Scripture is you prepare for the next season and the current season.
Right.
You don't wait for the next to show up and then get ready. You get ready before it gets here.
Right, be prepared.
So that affirms what you're saying, which is prepare for these conversations and well in advance, although we don't often think like that as people. For example, we never had a baby book till you were expecting a baby. And we bought that book, What to Expect When You're Expecting.
Yes, everybody did
remember
back in the 90s.
Remember going through that book together?
Yes.
And went to the birthing classes and all those kind of things like, hey, we're ready for this.
Yeah, we're ready. And then it happened, and it was
we weren't any more ready for that than the man on the moon.
Holy cow, what just happened?
That first night home with our son, Chandler, it was like that, the night that would never end.
Life stages, though, and changes. And from going to being a woman, then a woman that transitions through a 9-month birthing process to then having a baby and your hormones all being all over the place and having to settle in a new father, somebody who's never had that pressure before. Now all of a sudden you have the pressure of being not only a husband but a father. So life changes.
Well, in addition to that, life changes. I think something I messed up on big time was, and we've talked about this before.
Do tell.
Well, I messed up big time on making sure that you had the support that you needed to come home with a firstborn son versus me just saying, we got this thing. I felt this need as a man to go, we got this. We didn't have this any more than the man on the moon.
Right. But we had my mother by the next morning.
Well, your mother was offering to come over on the first night and be a help to us, and she'd raised 4 kids. Your mom has been down the childbirthing journey, and your mom's always been helpful. Mm-hmm. We had both grandparents in town together. And I was convinced that we can do this all by ourselves. And stupid me let everybody else be put on notice. We don't need your help. We got this. Oh my
Listen,
gosh.
it's okay. We learned from that. We prepared
Complete
ourselves.
stupidity.
Fast forward 4 years to when our second born came. I
I'm
mean,
like, Wanda, move on
move
in.
in.
How
You've got
long
a
do you want to
week.
live
Can you
here?
stay a full week? It's all good.
Well, I mean, so just to context that finish the story out there, that morning we called your mom
Oh yeah.
and she was waiting by the
Or I
phone,
think
waiting.
she called us and was like, "So how was the first
Yeah, she was
night?" And I
waiting.
was like,
She was waiting. And she
Yeah.
shows up with McDonald's breakfast
I think
biscuits.
she is such a meek person, but I think probably now that I'm thinking about it, she was probably like,
She's like,
I'm going to show Marty with my
yeah.
bag of McDonald's and my People magazine and my
Oh my
sweets for
gosh,
Becky.
we didn't sleep a wink. We didn't know. So
No.
in stages, get support.
Yeah, definitely.
Whether it be family systems or medical help.
Mm-hmm.
What about this? We discussed this briefly as well, just you and I talking. Is it ever a spouse's job to say, I think you're going through a stage right now? Probably not.
Probably not. And from a woman's perspective, and in my opinion, and you can share your man's perspective, it's the whole thing of different stages in life where you have heard stories where people, don't mess with her.
Don't mess with her.
She's hormonal, or, I hear she's going through that phase or whatever. That stuff is just, you might as well go get a shovel and start digging, your own grave.
So you're,
because that is
you're
not
saying
gonna
when a
work.
man says to the woman, whoa.
Yeah, I don't like that.
You don't
women
recommend that?
Women don't like that whole whoa. It's like, what are we going to explode, or volcanic eruption coming? Or, I mean, maybe some women do, and hey, more power to them. It's just about being there, being concerned, allowing each other space to walk through whatever. Some people get completely introverted and moody
Yeah.
and shut down. And that can be just as difficult as somebody who does the opposite, where, they raise their voice and they're huffy puffy. And yeah, we just have to give each other space.
Yeah. Well, so let's kind of rewind back to maybe some stages we've been through together.
Yeah.
We've been married for 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
So from the time we said I do to today, we have gone through various stages.
Yes.
We wouldn't have said this 30 years ago. We had no idea they were called stages, or
Right.
even that they would be coming up. So
Or
let's
life
just
events.
let's that's a good inclusion
Life
too.
events.
So let's think about some things that make up the stages of life. Obviously, the simple one is marriage itself. The day you say I do it myself, the day you get married is a new stage,
Yes.
and that brings with it challenges that no one wants to talk about.
Right.
I didn't want to hear about, because I thought that when you married me, you had received all you desired in life and you were really good to go, and you would have no challenges.
No chance of ever needing to talk to my parents again about anything, because
You would have
all
no
the answers.
challenges that with a brand new
Yes.
last name and being taken to a
Yes.
foreign country the next day with a guy
Yes.
you've been dating, now you're living in the same hotel room with. And what is not good
Oh,
about
that's called
this?
the honeymoon, right?
That's called
Yeah,
the
okay.
honeymoon. I mean, you
I
think
think
about
couples are smart who get married, hang out for a few months, and then go on a honeymoon. That's brilliant.
and we had dated for a lengthy time. We
I
had a
know,
great
but it's
friendship,
just
but it's
different.
still it's
There's
a
so
lot.
much pressure around all of it.
There's a
and
lot
not
of
to
pressure.
mention money, and you're newly
Yeah.
married, and money is important. And
It is.
Yeah.
So I think about the wedding itself is a stage.
Yeah.
What's maybe a next stage that
Well,
couples would have?
Couples would have, deciding when is the right time to have kids or start a family,
Okay.
or not start a family.
Or if they can't have
Or
kids.
if they can't have kids, they try, and they're excited, and it's not happening like they thought it would. And that is a painful process for a lot of couples when they are like, wait a minute, from what I've read and the shows I've watched, you get married, you start a family, you have children, and it's not happening. So I think getting married, trying to start a family, parenting kids through different phases, kids moving out, going to college.
So you have kids born, and you have kids in different stages themselves, which could be
Yeah.
multiple phases for the family.
Yeah.
Early education, junior high,
Yeah,
going
hormones.
through their hormonal changes,
Yes.
high school. Then you mentioned kids moving away.
Kids moving out, going to college.
Let's pause there for a second. So we've had 2 kids go to college.
Yes.
Our first went to college, and there
I
was
did
some-
much better with the second one.
Yeah, the second one we're like, please get out of here.
It wasn't that. It was just with our firstborn, with Chandler, it was just my first son.
Yeah.
And it was watching him walk across the campus of UCA in Conway, Arkansas with a group of students, and me and my mom and my sister, because, I had to take reinforcements. They're with me. And he might as well have been walking across Siberia away from me forever, because at that moment it was like, it's happening, it's happening. You know, he's going into it like I would never see him again or something.
Yeah.
That's just these emotional thoughts you have and emotions that spring up. And you can prepare yourself all you want. I would imagine it's likening, you know, our kids aren't married yet. Hopefully we'll be.
But we're for it.
We're for it.
We
But
can,
that
we
moment
can
that
marry them off today.
the moment that they get married, and that's another change.
Yeah.
Going off to college, finding a spouse, getting married, it's all changes. But at this stage of the game, it's not life altering or ending.
Right. Now, just to insert this here, you and I had 2 different experiences dropping our kid off at college.
Well, of course we did.
We didn't have things. So how does spouses navigate that? Because what I'm looking at and what you're
because I
looking
was
at,
hateful the day we moved Chandler in. I'll just tell you.
it was not a good day.
No, I was flustered, frustrated, any little hiccup in the road. And it was at that moment, it wasn't because of the dolly maybe not being present that I thought we were going to have. Or
You wanted me to get a dolly. I didn't think we needed it. We ended up needing it. I didn't have it. You weren't
But
happy
no,
about that.
had I went right to the source of my frustration,
Yeah.
it would have been, you know, my heart is, I'm, you know, not breaking, but this is emotional for me. This
Yeah.
is my firstborn. He's excited. And your mom always taught me this throughout our married life. She's been a fantastic mother-in-law, very full of wisdom, that you can have joy in pain.
Mm-hmm.
And at that moment, I should have thought, okay, I'm as happy as can be for this kid. I am feeling pain in my heart because my firstborn is moving out and transitioning. And it's a closing of a chapter, the opening of another door and a new chapter, which was fantastic.
So
But at that moment, it wasn't you and the dolly necessarily. That was just like I already had the fuel was there,
Yeah.
and you were just the match.
I'm glad I could be the match. I don't know that I processed. I mean, I wasn't ignorant of the fact that this would be a change for you.
Yeah.
But I don't know that I don't know that I knew to what degree because I
Well, I
wasn't.
didn't either, I don't
wasn't
think.
having any of those thoughts. Literally, I remember him walking across the street with his class to go off to the science area. He was there for that week in intensive, then stay for school. And I was like, this is awesome. And
Yeah.
my brain's going, it's about time. My brain's
Sure.
going,
You'd been
he's
wanting him to get
moving
a
out.
job since he was 10 years
My
old.
brain's
so.
going, I only got one more to go.
Yeah.
I'm having none of the
You
thoughts
were
you're
already
having.
focusing on empty nest, and he was 18 and Landon was 14.
So it's just
Oh,
unique
that's the
that
pressure.
in the stages, sometimes as spouses, we're not seeing them at the same level. So I guess the solution there is just talk more about it openly.
Communication.
And then to your point, you don't always know what you don't know.
Well, right. Looking back, it's so great to be able to look back on things. And that's why I would tell couples, don't put so much pressure on yourself right now. Don't be so hard on yourself. You only know what you know. The great thing about life and in our Christian journey is I think the whole plan is to learn as we go, to reach back to others. And when asked, advice, to just share with them your journey to help them avoid. We're all going to go through pitfalls and problems, but if we can help people avoid some
Yep.
of that. So, yeah, don't be too hard on yourself
Which
for
is
what you
kind
know
of the
right now.
purpose of this podcast, is to say, hey,
Yes.
we've done walked that hurdle.
Oh, yeah.
You can go a different route.
Yeah.
So, continuing on the stages, got a few more minutes on the conversation with this topic today. College, wedding can be a stage of life when kids get married off,
Sure.
when they relocate to different states,
Mm-hmm.
or when they're trying to navigate life. Sometimes in parenting, you're navigating a child, navigating life,
Right.
and trying to figure out where their niche is, and there's a stage as well there. And then we get to the other side of this, which is the physical shifts in our bodies. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm 51.
Right.
I'm not 25 anymore. I'm not 31. I'm 51. So we've discussed a lot in your profession as a medical provider. You see lots of this in front of you as people are aging, processes of life, stages of life.
Mm-hmm.
So if you could talk to anybody right now about just the medical side, and again, it's not medical advice,
No,
what would you say to them?
I would say in my own journey, currently in a journey, and from just some of my own experiences, the first thing you want to do is know that you're not alone. And that for women experiencing hormonal changes in their life, going from a different season, whether it be, you're coming out of your childbearing years, you're in perimenopause, kind of early perimenopause, and things are you're having an increased anxiety, you're having higher heart rates, you're feeling flustered, having some of these symptoms. First thing I would tell you is you're not alone. There's people going through it just like you. Second thing I would say is get to your medical provider.
Mm-hmm.
They are a resource, and that's why I always encourage. I love the medical field. I love family doctors. I love doctors in general. But, as a nurse practitioner who is supposed to assist and help medical doctors, It's the best relationship you can have for the long run is to find a good family doctor and get that support and hang in there with them and let them guide you through your life's challenges. Because this is something, yes, you can go to the Word, you can read, you can pray, you can study, but practical hands-on, you need to go to your family doctor. You need to go to cdc.com. You need to go to Menopause Society. You need to go to some of these places
What
online.
about for men?
For men, go to your family doctor. Talk to your family doctor. Go, NIH is the National Institutes of Health. Again, the CDC. You type in these things, and what you're looking for is scholarly articles. That means professionals, people that peer reviewed. They've come together. They've talked about these topics based on science and fact, and they've vetted out. You know, someone's opinion is one thing, and you can consider it in a close relationship that you trust. Another is when you're looking at a scholarly article, knowing that science is backing it up, and that's important for you when you're doing your research to look for those type of articles.
Well, we've been married for 3 decades. We've been through lots of stages.
Yeah.
And
Why did we both just go, take a big pause? It's
like-
been exhausting.
3 decades. But should the Lord tarry, we got several more decades to go.
Yes.
And it's a joy doing stages of life with you.
Yes, you as well. I look forward to the next stage.
The next stage. I love doing life with you.
I love doing